What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a hot one today. It's a hot one. We got a live one here. Barely. This cat is barely alive. She is very hot and tired. Luckily, we now have air conditioning, and the air conditioning will cool us all off. Although I think she's coming to life and realizing, Daddy, you're warm. Let go of me. I wanted food. I wanted cuddles, but now you're too warm. Leave me be. Okay. All right. You go do your thing. Do not chew on the wires on the back of the computer, please, cat. All right. How are we doing? Can we get a sound check? Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Probably that was probably a little much. We can probably just do a little sound check over here with the with me talking. Ahoy hoy. How are we doing, everybody? Today is the day. I have finally I'm not 100% rested. I'm not 100% healed, but I am good enough. I'm good as grapes, good as gravy, good as drape fin barbs to talk about Rasboras. And I want to talk to you about Rasboras today in a way that maybe no one has. In that, there's a lot of Rasboras out there. And I have permission from a couple fellas, some good old chaps that are friends on Facebook, to share their videography of Rasboras in their natural habitat in Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Borneo, Sarawak, Papua New Guinea, all these places where you would find them. And basically, I think we all know a lot of the Rasboras, right? We know a lot of them. So while I talk about, while people filter in, what I want to do is look at some of the friends of the channel. So some of the places where I have discount codes, some of the places I don't, but they're all people that ethically I support, that buy and sell fish, and they happen to sell online. So these are accessible to anyone in the US, and in some cases people outside the US as well. So I was going to see what are the common kinds that we can just breeze through real quick by looking and see, okay, chili Rasboras, stuff like that I'm sure we've seen. They're beautiful fish. I've done species profiles, I've done how to breed these things and so forth. But in this episode, I want to kind of do this live. And if you're watching a replay of this, I'm going to try and I'll talk a little bit with the chat in the beginning here. But let's try to, if you could do me a favor, chat, when you're talking amongst each other, feel free to talk about whatever you want. Doesn't matter if it's fish related or not, of course, but talk with one another, because I won't be answering any questions unless it's related to our Rasbora subject for today's chat. On Friday, we may have a special guest, but it's definitely going to be a chat that will be like open question, bring me your troubles. I will lend you my ear and try to solve them. Also, for those of you who have emailed me, I see a few of you in here who have emailed me also. I apologize if I haven't written back yet, or if I only wrote like, hey, I'll write more detailed back soon. I intend on it. But also, I've just been kind of behind in everything with the health craziness, because I'm going to a different provider now, which is good. But also now it may be a medical malpractice issue. And I was afraid that I was going to be the one who had to bring that up, and I really didn't want to. It felt like a really nasty, like, I don't want to sue anyone. I don't want to deal with this. And it's so much negative energy. Well, they actually brought their own director in without me saying anything and intervened and said, we need to take you out from under the care of this doctor. and put you under another doctor who is capable, because this is just unacceptable what we've seen going on. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that I'm somebody who has a platform, and it's so great. But, you know, they mentioned that me as a public figure struggling with the difficulties of navigating the healthcare system. And that was an interesting phrasing. And my parents were there, and, you know, to support me and to help take notes or whatever, and also drive me because I'm in a wheelchair, going any distance. So I found that very interesting, and hopefully it'll be good things. Hopefully that means healing up, and that means life getting back to normal even faster. But just wanted to give you guys a little press update on that. And then from here, I'm going to say hello to a couple folks in here. Then we'll pop up and see what Rasboras are out there and easy to get, like hotcakes, you know, very affordable and out there. And if I have a discount code for these places, so Moonlight Aquatics, Aquatic Arts, or who else would it be? Moonlight, DANSFISH would be the other one. Those three, I have the discount codes in the description already for you. I don't have a link. I already looked at Imperial. Normally they have great fish. They just don't have any Rasboras of note other than chili Rasboras right now, and we'll see those elsewhere. Also, the other place that we'll look at will be the wet spot. I don't have a discount code to the wet spot. I would love to have a discount code to the wet spot, seeing as they're only 3 hours away. I drive down there from time to time, and I am somebody who has supported them for 15 years of fish keeping. So in any case, if you end up wanting anything and ordering anything from the wet spot, because they do have a really good selection, that's what I will say. I think they're a good all-around store too, but they import a lot of critters. My only critique is they are willing to import any rare things that are also endangered, and knowingly, like, there's very few of those in the wild, but we're able to get a hold of them, so let's buy them all, you know. And then they supply the West Coast and even further. But what makes a Rasbora a Rasbora? That is a very good question, Randall Ben. Let's see here. Let me say, or is it Rand Iben? I never thought that your name could be either way, but I'm guessing it's Randall Ben. Anyways, hello, buddy. And also, hello off the bat to Johnny Best, giving us 5 Fishery membership gifts. So if you were not a member, 5 of you now are. Thank you so much, Johnny. I so appreciate you. There's something going on, something fishy, as they say, with my YouTube, in that YouTube today won't load at all the fact that I had a live stream on my end. So it's nowhere to be found. I took like pictures of it so that if it comes up later, like this stream never existed, I can like point it out to the tech team or whatever. But in any case, this stream never created a thumbnail or anything that I could see. Clearly, you guys saw it, and I tried to post it on my Facebook as well as the main stream and or the main channel thread posts, and then also in the Discord usually posts things automatically as well. So hopefully you got here one of those ways, but I want to just run through and, you know, thank everybody who's here in person live now. And we've got the Randall Ben, we got Johnny Best, both in here right off the bat. We got Sketty Nonia. What's going on? We have the Mijiard family. Hello, good to see you. Yeah, let's do this. Prodigal Aquarist, what is going on? Great to see you. Got your email, read it, just haven't responded yet. I want to give a good response. Also, Carson Fram, what's going on? You should die you should die. I I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just real challenged with pronunciations today. Anyways, Fish Dad 27. That's nice and easy. Thank you for helping me with the name there. Andrew, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Craig, always a pleasure. And who else snuck in here? Amy, always good to see you as well. And so the Mijard family says, hey, it's my first time. Lives happen when I have baseball every week. So I can't make most of them and won't be able to stay for long. How much is there? How much is there in your memberships? So it is $1.99 to be a member. You can pay $4.99 if you want. Honestly, not a huge difference, but you get access to another 200 plus episodes that are in a podcast/audio format playlist. And some of those are available for the general public, but not the full extent. And when you become a member, it unlocks automatically for your YouTube account you to access all that. Plus, if you go back over posts under community, you can also see all the posts that I've ever made that are kind of behind the scenes and stuff. And going forward, when I get good deals on something, if I know there's something going on, like if you live in the Seattle area right now, Denny's Pet World has a 51st anniversary sale, and going on now through Sunday is a 50% off sale, which is a killer deal. Also, I talked to their fish guy. They get their order in Thursday night and they stock it either Thursday night into Friday first morning shift. And so usually I have someone like kind of put things in acclimation at night, and then someone else will then put them from the back tanks into the front tanks. So that means they're not quarantining, but I happen to know that they get most of their stuff from the wet spot. Go figure. It comes full circle around here, right? So anyways, Fish Family Link, what up, Mr. Bot, Mr. Fish Family Link Bot? And oh, nice. You live in Singapore. Very cool. Can I just call you Mr. Yu or yeah, you? I'm gonna butcher your name, and I apologize. It's my clunky American wording. Also, anti-fan, hello. Good to see you. Welcome again. And also we got Bambi McCluskey. What's going on? So good to see you, my dear. Who else do we have in here? The Grim. Hello. Come on in. Glad to see you. You're glad to see me doing good? Well, I'm glad to see you doing super good. Oh yeah, no worries. Being super clean. Hey, I try. Sometimes I look a little dirty because it's not dirt. It's unfortunately it's calluses that I get from my autoimmune disease for any skin that moves. But I do try. Sometimes my fingernails are dirty from digging in my planted tanks as well. But I try not to cuss too much. So I am assuming that's what you mean. And yes, we try to be family friendly around here. You know, I just think it keeps it more professional, more easy, right? All right, guys. So first of all, let's pop up and let's see what is out there in the world of Rasboras. And I saw someone ask, what is your favorite Rasbora? I would typically say the Phoenix Rasbora for me has been my favorite Rasbora. I have bred a lot of Phoenix Rasboras and they're really fun. But I'm also learning that like the Emerald Rasbora or the Emerald Eye Rasbora and like the Scissortail Rasbora and some of these ones that seem plain just look phenomenal when they're schooling like in a very nice aquascape. They just look so elegant and beautiful. Hey JP, welcome, and hey Steve Rodriguez, good to see you as well. You know, I do also, as Steve is mentioning, and we'll talk about these another day, but Galaxy Rasbora, Celestial Pearl Danio, that or the Emerald Dwarf Rasbora, as it was called, which is the Erythromicron. I love those fish, but they're not actually Rasboras. Go figure, right? Go figure. But they are very cool nonetheless. Those are actually danios, though. And I mean, what are you gonna do? They're danios. So and Divario, I believe, is what they decided to categorize them as. Let me see here. I'm trying to pull up Rasboras for y'all. Rasboras. Okay. So it looks like Moonlight Aquatics doesn't really have any Rasboras to show you guys either. They did have some very recently, and now they're out. It's kind of the end of the season for Rasboras that are wild caught, unfortunately. And I know Aquatic Arts does have some Rasboras, and so we'll pop over there. But you know, the wet spot is going to be the place that has all the Rasboras today. So then after that, you know, so I'm not just going to be showing you guys places where they sell stuff. Okay, I'm going to be looking up. We're going to be looking at Google Images and Eschemeyer or, you know, Fishbase. We're going to also be looking up the other fish that are out there online, because obviously, as I said, a lot of these are very rare, and a lot of these Rasboras are actually really new, or they're so unique to one island in the Indonesian chain or something that there's different color morphs and things. And somebody just brought up a freaking awesome point, which is Johnny, which he mentioned, I love the blue neon axelrodi Rasbora. So Chang at Moonlight Aquatics just had those in, and he just sold the last ones today. Like literally, that was the only Rasbora he had when I was checking the website this morning to say, oh, can we look at that on the show? And those are an incredibly beautiful fish. And they I'll pull one up on the screen right now for you guys, so you don't have to just look at my face. So you don't have to just take my word for it. You can see the beautiful fish. So we've got Sundanio, and so Rasbora is not really a specific genus. That's the first thing. When somebody asks what makes a Rasbora, it is pretty out there. So we agree that it is a cyprinid of some sort. It's a cyprinid fish, like a small minnow type fish, and it has a specific look and vibe about it when you look at it. Now, some of these things are a little amorphic and you can't like put it on paper, but one of them is like it lacks pharyngeal teeth. Like there's nothing that it's going to chew. And yeah, Rasbora equals tetra from Asia. It's a good way to look at it, Cancer Train. I mean, it really is for that. So, all right, Prodigal Aquarius, I hope you have a good night. I totally understand when the meds are kicking in and they're kicking you. I get it. You got time to tap out. I got you. No worries. Go take care of what you got to take care of, my friend. Do it to it. All right, and let me get this Rasbora on the screen. Why is this taking so long? Everything I do today on the internets has just been so time consuming, and I don't know why. Like phone and the actual computer, the computer 9000. All right, let's see here. Okay, share. Okay, so the Sundanio axelrodi. Now here is a great example of these are considered Rasboras, but there is no actual Rasbora part of the name. So how do you include it in with Rasboras? It's really difficult. That's a tricky one. So it doesn't get grouped technically as a Rasbora a lot of times. But if we look at it, I mean, it has all the hallmarks body-wise of a Rasbora. I mean, it's got the kind of big eye, which we call a pedomorphic trait. the small mouth, the big eye, the clear fins, generally speaking, and then the color on the body with the prominent iridophores and usually a bit of a distended belly or elongated belly. You know, it's kind of just that sleek fish build that's a stereotypical fish build. But here is a picture by Chris Lukoff, a friend of the channel. But this is one of Dan's fish, right? By the way, he does have some right now, it looks like, and they are $9.99 a pop. These are tiny, tiny, tiny fish. These only get half an inch to an inch long, depending on where you get them. Most of them are closer to an inch, but if you get them from some collection points, they stay very small. Now, another thing I want to point out is that when you look at these, there's actually different color forms of them. There are the different color forms of, there's a black kind that has basically this black stripe, and this is still Sundanio axelrodi. And then there is also a Sundanio axelrodi that is red, and it's basically the clear red color. It's almost like an albino version, although its eye is not albino. So it is a true color morph variety. Then there's the bluer versions and there's green versions. So they consider there to be a black version, a green version, a red version, a blue version. And if you want to call this an orange or yellow version, I think it's just a variety of the red, honestly. But you can see it here. And not only that, but when you search for Sundanio, this will be why we're not going over all the Rasboras that there are out there. But if you go over Sundanio, you'll find things like Sundanio rubellus. And Sundanio rubellus, oh, that looks a lot like the Sundanio axelrodi, right? It sure does, but it has a different number of rays in its finnage, and it has a more angled anal fin, and it can be bright green, or as the name suggests, it can be red, which is very, very interesting. That's not actually it's a neon red Rasbora. That's not a Sundanio rubellus. Sorry, I just clicked on it because I wasn't sure how that was labeled, if it was labeled at all. But I was trying to find you one more Sundanio species, because there are 7 Sundanio species that I know of, and they don't consider those color morphs to be different species, which is even more confusing when you look at things like this, where you see the rubellus and the axelrodi as 2 separate species, yet when, here they are side by side, basically the same picture, yet they can overlap with color like that, right? So that's a very odd little quirk that goes on. But Sundanio goblinus is another one, or goblinus. And let's see here. None of those are actually the picture of it, unfortunately. And all these fish are kind of small. Well, here's another one anyway. Sundanio Cyprididae. And these ones are another interesting one. Right here, they just stay like tiny fish. And these are some of the smallest fish in the world. All the Sundanio species out of the 7 of them, you know, there's also these, there's various other ones, and you get into really nitty gritty details to tell them apart. So that's why today, as much as I love Sundanios, and I do consider these a Rasbora in my head, I group them together, they're technically not. And you see these dots, these pigment dots up close here that you're looking at? That is what tells you that it is the Sundanio echinus rather than the Sundanio axelrod or rubellus. In this case, the echinus, when you look at it up close, has these silver or blue dots or black dots on it that are the iridophore crystals that are visible and in clumps, Whereas when you look at the Axelrodi, even though it's just named incorrectly, Axelrodi has the blue all over. You can see clumps on the belly, and that's it. So let's get into some actual, some more nitty gritty of the Rasbora, but they are a really great fish. I've talked about them quite a bit. Also want to say hello to Asya and Lolly and who else came in here? Or Ollie, Lolly, Ollie, the pufferfish. Jan, what's going on? Meep, hello, and who else came in? Wicked Freaking Aquatics and Dagmar Haggerty, hello, good to see you too. Come on in. So today we're going through some of the Rasboras, and I was just saying that Rasboras are not one thing. They're a name we give to fish like tetras, where we can all agree what falls into the tetra group, but there are genuses that are maybes in the tetra group. So it's like they're tetra adjacent, or they're, you know, a cyprinid that's similar to tetras, but not a tetra. And same goes with, unfortunately, with the Rasboras. There is a specific genus Rasbora that does have a taxonomic like definition of what gets it into there, and you'll have to read that, but it'll say really boring things like a ratio of this to this between the dorsal fin and the anal fin, a presence of the anal fin, the dorsal fin, and the pectoral fins, likely missing ventral or lateral paired fins, no barbels present, and it will say things like that. And then it will also say things like no pharyngeal teeth visible or noted, things like this. Can you go over information on the rummy nose Rasboras? I really like them. Yeah, Sawbwa resplendens are another one that are not technically Rasboras, but we're going to go over those in just one sec. So let me let's look at, so what I was going to do first is go over some of the popular ones just by looking at some of our friends who are pushing the fish. So over here I'm going to pull up Aquatic Arts, and I think they had some on there, and they have really good quality ones usually when they carry them. But let me try to pull that up for you. Do they have their well, shucks, I think they probably do have a Rasbora section, but let's see, can I don't know if I can actually scroll down that low, which is super frustrating. But right here, I mean, how is this not a Rasbora? Even though it's from South America, right? That would fit right in with the Rasbora vibe. It's got the pedomorphic large eye. It's got the paired fins here. It's got the bigger anal fin, kind of same size as dorsal fin. It does have an adipose fin, and I don't know if actually Rasboras have that. So let's take a further look and find a real Rasbora. But they do fit in nicely with tetras. Like if you want to keep tetras and Rasboras together, they go together very well. You know, Aquatic Arts, this was another reason why I wanted to bring them up, is they have some very, very rare Rasboras, and these are some of the more unusual ones. So this is a Brevibora, or Rasbora exilus, and this is a brand new species, I mean about a year old, and it was not recognized before just recently. And they kind of have some red tones on them, like a little bit of a red hue in the back. And they kind of have a yellow or a tan line down the center. And they kind of have white stripes on their dorsal and their anal fin. Or I guess that's actually their paired. Is that a paired fin? No, it's just pectoral fin very far back. And then they've got that kind of blue glitter on their face and green kind of on them too. So there are some subtle colors, but at the end of the day, they're basically just plain little silver fish with bluish silver eyes that really light up from afar. And the males, if you can see it here, have a nice white band right on their dorsal and then a black band on their dorsal also. But one of the newer Rasboras out there in the world, and there is another one that they had. This one right here is the Scissortail Rasbora, not new, not rare, but I love these because they're very similar to the rummy nose tetra in a true sense. We'll look at the Sawbwa resplendens, which is the rummy nose Rasbora, but I wanted to show you guys these because this is a true Rasbora. It's actually Latin name. It is, Rasbora or the Breva Bora or the, what's the other one? Brachiobora. There's like 6 or 7 that they kind of group and they still consider true Rasboras that are subspecies genuses. But the trilineata here, that means 3, obviously, and lineata lines. So it's the 3-lined Rasbora. It's getting that name because there's a black stripe on the tail fin there, black stripe on the tail fin there, and a big old black stripe on the tail fin. Arguably, you could say that there's 2 stripes on each of the north tail fin and the south tail fin. And then there's a black kind of triangle or a black stripe in the center of the 2 fins. I don't know. But they look very cool when they're schooling. They have a iridophore covered swim bladder, which is cool. A lot of these Rasboras have evolved that, and they have that ability, like Medaka fish do and like some tetras do, to really shimmer. They have a translucent body, and then in UV light, what it does is they use their own tissue of their flesh to scatter the UV light that reflects off this little swim bladder here. And so to other fish that are seeing UV light and visual light, it looks like a disco ball. It scatters the light throughout their body as it exits different ways. And it kind of confuses them so that the swim bladder looks like the main body of the fish. And then the tail and everything else kind of looks like a different visual cue. And a lot of times they'll have spots on the tail fin, and that will kind of give it away to other fish as, oh, this is, I should attack there because that's the tasty bit. Now there is they had another Rasbora in here too. So here's one that gets called the Emerald Dwarf Rasbora, right? Everybody was talking about how much they love the erythromicron. Well, they're now in the same family as the celestial pearl danio, the CPD. So they're in their own little genus of 2 with the Celestiictes erythromicron. And these, though, do fit the bill for having kind of the, very far back paired fins, the pectoral fins up here, and then the anal fin and the dorsal fin are similar size ratio. It's got that eye spot on the tail. The eyes are pretty big. And, CPDs are another, obviously everybody knows what the celestial pearls look like. They're beautiful and all that. But I just want to go down, and I think there's a few more Rasboras in here that they have on hand. And, the rice fish also are found right in with a lot of these fish, as are danios. And the other thing that Aquatic Arts has been carrying is the bitterlings, which are pretty cool, from Southeast Asia. Some of these turn really bright red. They're not at all related to Rasboras. These are more like a carp or a perchiform or carpiform fish. But anyways, kind of interesting. They're carrying some very unusual cichlids and fish right now at a pretty good price. Like it'll load in a second here, I hope. But you'll see some of these cichlids that they're carrying that are pretty neat too. That are care species that they're basically just carrying because somebody bred them locally in Indianapolis and had enough of them. But they kind of went out on a limb because, like, who's gonna buy this not so colorful, rather large fish that you need to kind of dedicate, you know, hard water to and whatnot? These are one of the Rift Lake cichlids, I believe. Yeah, Lake Malawi. And so I just thought I'd shout that out while we're here looking at this. And this is another species that's 25 bucks. Use my code FISHTERY15 and you'll get another 15% off. But some of these are already marked down 63% in one case, down to 29 bucks, down from $80. They also have another variety. So that somebody was into these Malawi fish. You could do a whole Malawi tank, I guess, for about 25 or 30 bucks a fish for some rare care species. Also, the tequila goodied, I wanted to shout this out while we're here, just because, you know, it looks like they're getting low in stock, but I have it on good account that they're breeding some in-house. And this is the one that was extinct in the wild until very recently. And a few years ago, they put it back into nature, and it is thriving in the little cordoned off areas where they have re-released it. Okay, so another danio / Rasbora. This was an argument for a while and is going under brachiodanio, not a true divario or danio or rario. This is going under brachiodanio, but this is the gold ring or tinwinny danio that was found around the same time as the CPD and the celestial pearl. And very beautiful fish, lives in a very similar habitat to the other ones that we've looked at, but it's just a little different. And same with these chythids. Now they have agreed that there are two very different chythid danios, by the way, and these are a brachiodanio, not a divario. But they have said that there is the orange kind, which has lines that are jagged, like zipper lines on the fish, if we look closely. And then there is the southern variety of chythid danio. I don't know if they have them. I don't think they do. But those have dots, and that's what's in my fish tank right now at the moment. But here you go. Here is a celestial pearl danio. And how did we know that they were in their own genus with the with the emerald dwarf Rasbora, supposedly, right? Well, it's because they can hybridize. And this is what one of the hybrids looks like. The way you can tell it apart is it's got a nice dot on its caudal peduncle. It's got an eye spot on the caudal peduncle. But this one still has kind of dots like a CPD. There's also a different phenotype, and I guess it would probably be a different genotype too, of hybrid of the two, where it has stripes without the eye spot and with some dots on the head. So there are a few different hybrid varieties that have popped out of there. Now, I want to point this out too. So the Imperial lapis tetra for 3 fish, $75. That is ridiculous. Don't worry. I know that's ridiculous. If you go to Moonlight Aquatics, he's selling these for, I think, $7 a piece for the Imperial lapis and for also the normal lapis. So I just wanted to shout that stuff out, that there are other places to get them. Penguin tetras. These sometimes go for like $20 a piece. Well, they're going for $9.50 right now here. And, you know, that's a great deal. I was trying to see if there was any. Oh, these are nice too. Let me just give these a shout out, even though they're not any Rasboras. Look at these from above. I love these Mayan butterfly koi. So cool. So cool looking. I mean, look at the consistency in these things. They carried these last year too. Anyways, back onto our search for the Rasboras. Rosy loaches are another one that live great with all of these other fish. We might be at the you know, Nanostomus do well too. The pencil fish. I think I should have. These are all fish that they have in stock at the moment, though, and you know, some of them are a great deal. Others, it's all about where you go and who you know. That is for sure. With fish pricing, holy smokes, Coolie loaches go great with all these Rasboras as well. They're real peaceful. Autosynclists will go together well with them. And small gouramis will go very well with them as well. Also, small corridoras will go well. Okay, so here's a good example of, this is not a true Rasbora, it's a Boraras, which is similar, right? But the strawberry Rasbora. This is another pedomorphic fish. Big eye. It's got some red on the dorsal and the anal, and then it's got kind of a nice red color. If you see them really fired up, they get a lot of red all over their body. You'll get it all up and down the body, and then you'll get 3 black dots, one on the caudal peduncle, one on the anal fin, and one on the body is the telltale. But they look very similar. Oh, and here's a normal CPD, which again, not technically, see, no eye spot on the tail. That's how we can tell the difference. And again, not like a super rare one. I think they might even have, let's see here. Do they have the other ones in at the moment? Do they have the, I thought they had Sawbwa resplendens in stock last time I looked. Maybe they just literally ran out. Right here. They did. They just ran out today, I think. But these are a great fish. I've done episodes on them. They can be delicate when you first get them. They come from water that has a lot of minerality, but that is fairly neutral to almost either slightly acidic or in the 7s, like 6.5 to 7.5. And they have somewhat of a limestone-rich environment in Lake Inle, where they're from. And they live in that lake where the north end of the lake has a whole bunch of limestone sliding into it, all broken up, sliding down from the hills and the sides of the lake. And then the rest of the lake is so much vegetation and plants and lilies and all sorts of things like that, that it kind of is just decaying vegetation, and that acidifies the water. And then the lake has no outlet other than a tiny little stream that trickles out of it and doesn't go anywhere. It's just, it is a lake with no outlet, which is why it's so unique evolutionarily. And it has no inflow other than the mountains around it. So there's no other lake or river with fish in it flowing down into the lake. It's all fish populating from the lake up into the streams that come from the hills, which is really interesting, even though it has 58 species of fish in a lake that's maybe 30 miles-ish long and about 2 to 4 miles across in most places. It's a fascinating lake. All right, so let's hop over to DANSFISH real quick. I want to do that because he's going to have some more of these common Rasboras and maybe a few unusual ones as well. Now, if you've never shopped with DANSFISH, he is more expensive. That is not even a question of like, maybe he's a little more. No, he's a lot more expensive. But any fish I've ever gotten from him, I've never had any parasites, any infection, any ick, any wasting. I've had a few people say, "Oh, I got the fish," and then 2 or 3 days later it had ick. In those cases, it could be possible, but I highly suspect that they got it from their own tank. after the fact. I don't know anybody who's ever gotten pictures of like their fish sick from him. They're all overnighted and they're checked out by an actual fish veterinarian, and he actually does pathology and even sometimes like genetic work to investigate, you know, where the fish came from, if they're healthy, if they're inbred, if they have viruses, things like that. And I mean, look at this. I want to show you guys. So watch when I pulled up fish. Let's just look at the CPD at Aquatic Arts really quick. Aquatic Arts, Celestial Pearl Danio right here. Okay, so I want you guys to look at this. These are their good pictures. And that's an okay fish, right? It's healthy. It doesn't have the massive hump and then sunken belly, but it has kind of a flat belly, right? A little flat belly, kind of yellow fins, orange on the other fins. We get one stripe here. We see one stripe there. We get a little bit of gold, not much blue or anything. So here's like the money shot of money shots of all their fish, right? And we see that nice golden hue. We see the orange and the red. That's a really healthy, happy fish. Okay, you guys get the picture. This is what their fish are looking like. Now, see that little lump down in the lower section? That's a genetic trait. See the flat belly here? That's a trait that is not so good that's getting bred into a lot of these fish. So now, let's hop over back to DANSFISH. Is it going to take it? Okay, we'll just have to go over to DANSFISH. Okay, DANSFISH, and look at his CPDs. Look at these things. They have, hold on. Let's get a good, yeah. Look at that. They have an actual vivid blue, metallic navy blue background. They have a rotund belly. And you can make out their ventral or their pectoral fins. Their ventral fins have 2 stripes of black on them. Their anal fin has 2 stripes of orange and maybe 3 and definitely 2 stripes of black. Their tail has 4 stripes of black and the clear stripe. And their top fin, I mean, that is an incredible fish. That's a mature fish. Here's a little younger one, the one you'd probably get. But still, that is the difference in paying like $5 to $7 for a CPD versus $9.99 for a CPD. Or at least in my mind, that should be the difference. Like if you're going to pay more, you should get more. And I just want to point that out as a stunning example of like why I would pay more if I was starting to breed something. And that's why I would pay more. I would go with DANSFISH in that case. But there's plenty of cases where I just want a community fish. I want like 30 of them, and, you know, that's that. Hey, guys, I see more of you have joined us. Yellow Marker has come in. KJE Aquatics, good to see you as always. And also, Ryan, what's going on, buddy? Who else is in here that just snuck in? I know someone else snuck in. Cattle Huyas, Sonny, G1, good to see you. And Jacob, Gally, Nick, James, good to see you guys. Good to see everybody. Come on in. Aqua Balls, George, it's great to see you, buddy. And another Craig, come on in. And Abinelli. I hope I probably butchered your name. I'm so sorry, but Abinelli. Hello. Hey, just got here. I've been waiting for this. Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. I know some of you have been waiting for this episode. Also, Fishcapades Productions, Gnarly Treebeard, Alex Vans, and Assyriana. Good to see you guys. You ended up rescuing a kissing gourami. Never kept a large gourami. They're fun fish, yeah. Oh, Annabelle is your grandpa, and he just calls me that. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. Fishcapades, good to see you as well. And so, anyways, let's get back to our look at these fish. So today we're getting through at least we're getting through all the like Sundanios. We looked at those. We looked at the fish that we often call Rasboras that are not technically Rasboras. And now we're at DANSFISH, and we are going to pop over to the section of Cyprinidae here. And again, emerald dwarf Rasboras, not a true Rasbora, a beautiful fish. Love them. They're in their own genus. Gold ring danio. Remember, we saw those earlier too, and we saw those at Aquatic Arts. And here they are more money, but they are very pretty. And you will have to go and study the two side by side to decide if there's one that's better than the other. I got mine here, and I like them. Also, the Sawbwa resplendens, these rummy nose, these are the same price both places. So Aquatic Arts and DANSFISH have them at the same price. And I am seeing a very similar fish here, if I'm being honest. Maybe even the Aquatic Arts one had a little more bluing to the body. That could be a lighting thing since it is iridophores, and here you can tell they're in kind of a murky algae tank. But there's a female down below. Yeah, and the females looked a little bit better at Aquatic Arts. So, you know, honestly, if the money's the same, I probably would go with the Aquatic Arts ones, but I'm sure they're fine. Now, I also have these, the Heteromorpha. These are an incredible, again, though, not true Rasbora. They're a Trigonostigma. Now, Trigonostigma includes all your lamb chop Rasboras, all your, you know, your purple Rasbora, your Somfong Rasbora, so many Rasboras. Again, the Kubatai is a micro divario. That is actually a mini danio. And so technically not a Rasbora. That will change. I almost guarantee you guys that this will change, because these are an incredible, and these get grouped, even though they're kind of in their own weird little category at the moment. They have those iridophore dots on them. They have the iridophoric or metallic swim bladder. They also have the large anal fin to dorsal fin ratio with an even bigger caudal fin or tail fin. And then they also have the iridophoric, the gill plate and the big old eye with the tiny mouth that's upturned. I mean, they are spot on. You know, they'd be a tetra or a Rasbora, depending on where you found them in the world. But that is an incredible one. And at DANSFISH, he's got some really nice ones right now, $9.99. Now, if you've never bought from DANSFISH, you can use my code ALEX. That's pretty easy. It only works the first time you register. The first time you try him out, you will get a 10% discount. After that, I think it was 5% for a while, and then somebody said it was only like 2.5%. So, you know, I can't promise the second time, but it does look good for the channel. So I do appreciate it if you use the code. But if I can't get you a discount, it kind of makes me bummed. So I need to like hammer out all those things. But when Aquarium Co-op got in on shouting out his source, I think perhaps the weight of how much he could give away to new customers got watered down a bit. But anyways, these are Boraras. Again, I want to show you, these are all Boraras, which is not a true Rasbora. These are not true Rasboras, but this is like so many great ones, like the least Rasbora or the exclamation point Rasbora. Absolutely beautiful, elegant little fish, under an inch long, like 0.75 inches, you know, 2 centimeters long-ish. And again, so you can see all side by side right here. Rasbora, the strawberry Rasbora, it's got the dot here on the DANSFISH one. There's usually a black dot right here and another black dot right here. So let's see if some of the other ones have those showing. Yeah, that one shows it a little better. Black dot, black dot, black dot. The 3 black dots. That one shows it very well. There's a nice male. You can tell the males that way. And then over here, the chili Rasbora, probably the most famous Rasbora, right up there with the lamb chop Rasbora and stuff. These ones are very cool in that you probably see them at the store and they look like this right here. They've got kind of this navy blue, sparkly night sky teardrop or long line on them. And then they've got the red over it with some other red somewhere, maybe. That's what you can decipher at the store. Well, these fish absolutely light up like fireworks.
I think...
Let me mute him real quick. But when they are feeding and they're all happy and lit up, let's see if we can get this to play. Yeah, they get much darker red. They don't have anything in this tank, so if they had plants they'd color up a lot more, but you can see some of them are coloring up, and that's just because of the environment basically. But they're definitely a really beautiful fish. Like here you can see up close how they just that blue mark gets some green and yellow in it, gold even, and they get this color on them. And that is the Boraras brigite, or the Boraras mara, which is the Phoenix Rasbora. Very similar, except for this one has different tones of peach and orange, and it has 3 dots instead of the big long swoosh down the body. Also slightly smaller in length, just ever so slightly on average. So I just wanted to point out that like these are the common these are your common Rasboras that you've probably run into a lot of places. Again, this is another one where, like the Chopra danio, were they going to call it a Rasbora or were they going to call it a danio? Some of these danios look pretty suspect that they could be a Rasbora with those big old fins and, you know, the big eye and the colors. So it is a very fine line. Also, the dwarf spotted Rasbora. So this is another Bararis. And then here's the Axelrod that we looked at earlier. Also, not a true Rasbora. All of these, none of these are true Rasboras, other than, we'll look at these in a sec, but the copper Rasbora or the Trigonastigma, this one also goes by like the lamb chop Rasbora. And you can see it looks very similar to the other one that gets called like the clown, or the what is he calling it? Let's see, I forget. He called it the Harlequin, right? The Harlequin. So this has a nice kind of purple hue, and there are purple Harlequin Rasboras that are a collection point, and then that's been intensified by humans. But again, I just want to show you that we're going to have to do a two-parter on all of this, because this is all Trigonastigma. Again, Trigonastigma. The only true Rasbora that he's got on this list here is Rasbora, the clown Rasbora, the Calochroma. And these are a bit bigger. These get up to maybe 2 inches, I would guess. Is probably what he'll say. Yeah. So these get a little bigger, and they are a lovely fish. They've got copper, yellow. I mean, they've got these subtle notes and colors. And they're a little more like barb shaped, the true Rasboras are. Whereas again, another Bararis, here's the exclamation point. This is what they usually look like. They're not usually so red as that first one. But you can see all those Boraras, all those species, they do kind of look similar. These guys, again, with pedomorphic with the huge eye, the iridophoric gill, caudal or gill plate protector armor. And then you can't really make it out here too well. I've got some in my aquarium that you can see when they're fully grown. And they have a also iridophore, or a shiny metallic swim bladder and liver and all that inside also. And then they've got the pigment dots. Again, big dorsal, big anal, and the ratio to the tail fin pretty similar. Like you could just take the dorsal and the anal fin, tie them together, and put them back on the tail. And that's kind of like a good guess for your traits in these Rasboras and these pseudo Rasboras. But let's look at some real Rasboras, because what I've been talking about so far, these Rasboras I've talked about that we've looked at, those are not the actual Rasboras, guys. Like, I mean, you saw that last one was a true Rasbora. All these others are ones we call Rasboras, but we haven't though. Like they're not. They don't fit that genus on their own. So yeah. Also, hello, y'all who are joining us just now. Steve Rodriguez. I have a purple Harlequin Rasbora. Yes, they are very nice. They swim very nice. I mean, all these are very, very chill, peaceful fish. Definitely. And I don't know, guys. Are we any closer to Raisnock? Hello. And Patricia Lindsay. Hello. I hope you're doing well, my friend. You're a champion. Hello. Welcome. And who else is in here? Fishery. You got to teach me to ship out fishes I ordered. So FP Gardneri, Fundula Panchex, that is. Killifish from Lucas Bretts, and they just can't stop breeding. Oh, okay. We'll have to do an episode on packing. I've done one on like how to pack fish and shrimp. I don't like packing fish, honestly. I would look at if DANSFISH has a video on it. I trust him more than anyone. Aquarium Co-op, I trust their how to pack fish stuff. You know, Imperial Aquatics, I trust theirs. The Wet Spot, trust theirs. Lucas has a video, but it's more like rice fish and guppies and shrimp and snails, like kind of not as delicate stuff, if that makes sense. But he does have like a cheap way to ship fish. He'll do the 3 or 4 day shipping. Hello, honey. My wife is home, guys. Nancy, hello. Good to see you. Nancy from Tennessee. Also, good to see you. Who else is hiding in here? Felix. Hello. Oh, you're normally Roy Baker. Oh, what's up? Good to see you. So yeah, again, I don't know why, but of course my my stream is giving everybody weird names. All right, so now that we kind of, if you've been joining us, you understand what a Rasbora is and isn't, but is. Like, we call these things Rasboras, right? Like, even though now we clearly know the Sundanios are Rasboras, the Galaxy Rasbora and the Emerald Dwarf Rasbora, not Rasboras. The Sundanios are not, strictly speaking, that. The Trigonostigmas, or the lamb chop, the harlequin, the Somfongzi, not even your chili Rasbora, or, you know, those are Bararis. So those are not technically Rasboras. So that kind of leaves us thinking like, okay, Alex, so what is a what gives? What is a Rasbora? Like, I'm at a bit of a loss here. So if you're strictly using the name Rasbora, you know, a lot of these fish used to be Rasboras. Let me just put it that way. Also, let me share something with you for a moment. And you guys will, let's see, will you see this? Okay, I can do it this way, hopefully. All right, so if we go over here and we go boop, and then we go boop, see if this actually does it. Yes, okay. So I want you guys to just take a gander over here. This is some madness, right, guys? Let me get rid of this out of the way real quick. So that's my email there. These are the 84 species of Rasboras that are actual Rasbora. Rasbora. And so as we saw, the clown Rasbora, that was one. But we didn't come across many of the others. We came across chili Rasboras and all these other things, and none of them were on this list. So what I want to do today is show you guys some of these true Rasboras and show you, because a lot of them are not in the hobby and they're not asked for in the hobby. And so now hey, Nano Aquarium guys, so good to see you, buddy. Jeff Kane, also great to see you. But it's interesting to me that we don't see these Rasboras in our hobby at all. A lot of the true Rasboras, but you see them everywhere when you see footage from places like Indonesia, where people are snorkeling and things. So let's first of all look at the Rasbora amplistrigia. And let me just let's see. Oh, yep. All right, you guys are already on. I'm ahead of myself. You guys are already looking at it. So, you can see why some of these fish probably aren't the biggest sellers. Now, right here, there's the Rasbora amplistrigia, right? Right there. That's it. It's got a nice kind of the iridescent look onto its insides there. It has the big eye, proportionally speaking, and it's got the dorsal and the anal fin, even though they're different shapes here, which is a little unusual. About the same size as the tail fin would be if you put those two together. So that kind of gives us another idea. Okay, it's a little minnow looking fish, and it's got the eye that's about as big as the caudal peduncle is in total. It's got a sleek body, and it's got the upturned mouth usually, or at least even mouth. And it's because they usually hang out near the top or mid-water, and they come up to the top. And we're going to run into this if we use anything like Google Images instead of Fishbase or anything like that, but you're going to run into over and over it trying to show you guys like purple harlequin Rasbora. This, as we already just said, the harlequin Rasbora is actually, and there's Aquatic Arts of all places too, but it is the Trigonostigma genus. And the purple harlequin Rasbora is a collection point, and then, as I said, humans have intensified trying to select for this more purple gene. And some of them are very, very purple now. There are some really intensely purple and and kind of even like burgundy all the way into like a bluish black navy kind of color. And I don't take anything away from the originals, but it's pretty cool the colors that they bred into that. Again, here is a Bararis, a chili Rasbora, not a true Rasbora. But why do the real Rasboras get the short end of the stick? Well, here's the Rasbora amplistrigia, and here is a Rasbora pachisqualis. Boy, sure some different looking fish there, right, guys? Yeah, well, that's part of the problem is you're going to see here pretty quickly a lot of these fish, you're like, how can they even tell? Like Rasbora elegans. Oh, well, it's got a dot on its body. It's got that. Its anal fin and its dorsal fin kind of add up to its tail fin or its caudal fin. It's got a gill plate that's a bit decorated. Can't tell if its insides are, iridescent or not. And it doesn't have a pedomorphic eye, but it does have an upturned mouth. So like this one is probably a 2 or 3 inch long fish. Some of these get much bigger. And some of the ones that you look at here are interesting in that you see something like a Rasbora amplistrigia, and it can look very, they can have very differing collection point looks too. When you see subtleties in pictures like this, where there's like, oh, is that a tan line or is it just a reflection in the photo? Same goes with how kind of iridescent these fish, or translucent rather, these fish are. So let's look up a really hard to find one. I don't even know if we'll find a picture of this one, but we're gonna give it our best college try, and see if even Fishbase has it. So this is the, here we go. We do have one on Facebook that looks correct. Oh, so this is under the Rasbora trifasciata group. So this is the original science publication, which is at the correct time of the paper I'm going off of that has a list of all Rasboras. But this is the Rasbora Opi Lumbang Tobing. And I mean, red fin on the dorsal. It's got a little black, almost like a gonopodium spot, or not gonopodium, like a gravid spot rather, kind of like a live bear, which is interesting in this picture. Again, though, this, I don't know if this is accurate, but if it is, if this is the same fish here, that would also indicate that it can color up very similar to a chili Rasbora. But I'm guessing, like I said, with the eye size and the body size here, that they're going to be way different. We can go investigate these things. Yeah, here's an actual paper too. Nothing's colored up here. And what they're looking at in the paper very closely are things like, do the eyes protrude? Is there a nostril? Where does the armor plating end? When do the scales begin, and how are they interlocking? How many scales are there on the lateral line? How many support tendons? They're not tendons. They're they're fin. I'm forgetting the word right now. Doesn't matter. The rays, that's what they're called, fin rays. How many fin rays are there? And yes, some species are literally, they will not reproduce with one another. Yeah, okay, I see what's going on. So this is the trifasciata. Oh, did I have to go on and, oh boy. So these are the four species in the trifasciata Rasbora group. Let me open this to you guys. Copy. I think I can get through the firewall. I think it'll let me show it on StreamYard. Let's see here. It's on a blog. Okay. So let's see. Are you guys seeing? Yeah. So boy, those are four similar fish, aren't they, guys? The brilliant Rasbora is a very nice Rasbora, but it is a Boraras. There might be another Rasbora that goes by, a true Rasbora that goes by brilliant Rasbora. So, but when you look up brilliant Rasbora, generally speaking, you're going to get the least Rasbora is what it's called. But, okay, yeah, there is one. You're right. So the brilliant Rasbora, which, let me look up which actual Rasbora this is. This is the Rasbora borapentensis. Borapentensis. Man, that's hard to say. So it is the Rasbora Okay, there you go. So that is the brilliant Rasbora, truly. This is like, if you wanted a real brilliant Rasbora, this is what you're looking at, with just a hint of the red. Also, you've seen them called red tail Rasboras or black line Rasboras if you're in the US. This is why Latin names are so important, because look at this. This fish, a very good looking fish. This is a smart looking fish, isn't it? But if we go by the if we're looking and we go by like the least Rasbora, we get the Boraras umpathoides, which is the least Rasbora, also known as sometimes the brilliant or the exclamation point, or sometimes called the dash and dot Rasbora. I've seen all sorts of names for some of these. Formerly, yeah, and then it used to be, yeah, to make things even more confusing, its Latin name was, in the true Rasbora family, it was Rasbora urothalama. So anyways, that you can see how confusing this gets, because if we do like brilliant, stop it, brilliant Rasbora, we get the common one, but you get a few of the dash dot line ones, and then you even get some axelrodi, and you even get like other Bararis in here. So it gets very messy when people don't use the Latin names. You know, I don't know where this guy came from. His name is Aqua Addiction. But he has a really good photo of like every fish you could ever want, which is interesting. Now, the other group that you're going to see that's really similar to a lot of Rasboras is the Brevibora. That's where like your emerald eye Rasbora and stuff come from. But let's go back to Rasboras. So Rasbora. All right, so let me look at my list real quick. So next on my list, I have one that I can't even pronounce, but let's throw it up here and see what we get when we spin the wheel on Google image search. Yet again, another fish that looks vaguely the same. Okay, guys, so here's a research gate. These are 6 different Rasbora species. Holy hell. Okay, security. Hold on. We're going through a checkpoint here real quick. Let me get you guys through this. And did it? Okay, I got it. All right. Let's see if I can sneak you guys through here. Watch it kick me off or watch me get in trouble. If my stream ends suddenly, you'll know it's because I'm getting sued by a textbook company. Journal, that is. All right, so right here, look at this. These are 6 different species of Rasboras, true Rasboras. So we've got the Argorhiatinia, we've got the Balanensis, we've got the Gembrana, we've got the Latteristrata, we've got the Calipellis, and then we've got, what's the where'd the other one go? Oh, Aprotania, and what was the other one? Oh, one that doesn't have a name yet. Okay, in the paper. So yeah, look at this though. I mean, those are some pretty similar fish. That one has a swoosh though. That's kind of nice. That's kind of like the Trigonostigmas. And again, some of these features you only see when you look closely. And I think all the Rasboras that are popular in the hobby for the most part have the pedomorphic features. So you can see, look at the size of this one's eye. Letter B, we'll look up that one on its own. But these other ones, like, these look almost identical. Look at these 2 fish. They are basically identical, other than this one has maybe a little bit more color in the caudal peduncle start of the terminus of the fins. And this one has an eye spot in the terminus, and then another black spot here, and another black spot here. But they're very subtle. And here we've got like a line, and it's like, is it any different than the lateral line? Very hard to tell. This one has a smaller eye. It's like more salmon shaped. Also, this one's one of the only Rasboras I've seen with a mouth that is kind of, it does start upturned, but then it goes like salmon shaped. It goes like, it has a notch in it. So kind of interesting, but let's look at B really. Yeah, they're all from Indonesia, of course. Yeah, they do have color. Those ones are that makes sense that those are ones that have no color because they've been collected as specimens. But let's see here. We were looking for B. Where did B go? C. There's C. That's the Baliensis. Where is B? B. Oh. All right. Well, let's try to find this one. Oh, wait. Did you guys even see it? I'm sorry, guys. You didn't. You didn't. I've been talking to myself. Oh, boy. Oh, peanuts. I'm sorry, guys. I tried hard. I tried to get you guys to get into this ResearchGate file. I tried to get you guys in there, but it kicked us out, or never let us in, I suppose. Well, that is annoying, to say the least. But those are 6 different Rasboras, all different species. And we're going to look at one to see if it has any color to it when it's alive. And the answer is not really. It's maybe a little bit of yellow. All right. So I've got this list I'm working off of, and I've got Rasbora atenia. There's one down the list. Let's take a look at the Rasbora atenia, guys. That's a nice sounding Rasbora, right? Oh, guys, look, it looks like all the other ones in the wild. Oh, darn it. Look at that. It's just got a yellow, kind of yellowish, greenish, off yellow colored tail, and some spotting under each of the man, that's see. So, and this is a 2016 new to science. If you are into Rasboras, this is your time to shine, guys. You could go to the yellow fever infested jungles of Indonesian island hopping and risk your life to find the next little silver fish. Now, this one actually I have seen look kind of cool. It has looked kind of yellow in a few places where here we go. Forgotten Rasboras. Amazonas Magazine did an article a while back on these too, where they've got like yellow and a gold stripe, but these are the Rasbora atranus. And you know, they're kind of weird looking. They look kind of like a little salmon too. So by the way, Bararis is the I forgot to mention, like the pygmy Rasbora. Boraras is the dwarf or pygmy Rasbora section. All of the Boraras species are that. So Rasbora, you know, what you think of as Rasboras are definitely, unfortunately, not really the Rasboras you would pull out of your brain thinking like. But there is a very nice Rasbora that is, I have video of it, and we can look at some of their habitat real quick here too. But there is a very nice Rasbora, and it is called Rasbora Rasbora enthoveni. And all right, so I want you to look at it because you see it doesn't look so special, right? Kind of looks like all the other freaking ones we looked at, right? You're like, Alex, stop showing us silverfish with a little bit of red or yellow in their tail and the black line down the body. I get it. There's 84 of these damn things. But some of them have this beautiful color that you can't really put a name or description to until you just see it at just the right angle. with the right natural light. And in a tank under artificial light, it may look like a garbage fish. But this is one that is very sought after by people who've seen it in person. Like my friends that have gone over to Asia and that have seen it are like, dude, this one's incredible. Then they have a few times gotten it over here and they're like, why does it suck? Like, what happened? And I always find that interesting. How washed out a lot of fish get as well. Like the fact that some just get so unhealthy just from being transported. Now, Rasbora hosii, again, a silver fish, a black line, a dot on the tail, different ratios of things. But I mean, you guys get the point. There's a reason why we don't know most of these Rasboras. And it's because, unfortunately, like it or lump it, most people are going to say, well, those are boring. What, like, who cares? Why do we need to save that fish? Or why would we collect that fish? And in that is the saving grace of some of these fish, in that they will not be collected because they are not exciting. They are not they're not super fun to look at. Also, some of these fish there's not even pictures of. Some of these fish just have illustrations in the fish Hall of Fame, so to speak, in the taxonomy books. There are at least 7 or 8 of the Rasboras that I looked up that just don't even have a real picture. They've got a sketch, or they've got, even worse, the generic body type of a fish outline and then little description notes on different parts of it. That's for ichthyologists who can't freaking draw, I guess. Mel, what's up? Good to see you. Running water. Running water. Running water. Running water. All right, guys. So let's see here. Asha, what are you saying here? I'm happy to look at Rasboras and minnows all day. Even silver brown ones. They can't all be beautiful, flashy fish. You know, I agree, but unfortunately, I think you guys see why my original idea of, hey, I'll show you guys all the cool Rasboras that are out there, isn't as cool when you just see them one after another looking like that. So I want to show you guys a couple of videos. Yes, I did get permission from these people on the Facebook, and I said, hey, you with the Facebook, can I share with my friends, with my YouTube, can I share in the fun of what you're doing? And oh yeah, here we are, right here. This is a good one. This is one of the channels I was gonna share. Shane. Let's see, is it gonna let me? Oh, maybe it won't let me. That would be interesting. That would be. Let's see here. Is it gonna let me? Okay. It kind of is. I'm gonna have to. Okay, well, we can look at one guy, and he's the guy who I know is most cool with this. And if I could say, hey, guy, you should be, you know, like people should go out and buy his photos, I would say, this guy, Michael, go buy his stuff. But unfortunately, he doesn't sell his stuff. So hold on, let's see here. All right, so we got this thing going on here. Well, let's go there. There we go. So this is Michael Lowe. He lives in Indonesia, and he is always in Sarawak. He is a photographer for a living, and he is incredible. plant photographer, mostly loves plants, but volume is turned way down. Okay. Beautiful places in Southeast Asia. Also, he is, I mean, he gets around and it does like a National Geographic level photography. Really incredible stuff. Sorry, that was so loud. Also, I mean, he's sending some of these pictures that are so insane, next level, like these pink hill stream loaches that I'd never seen before, the world had never seen before, and now he's like out and he's tracked them down within like a week of someone else finding him. You know, he's out in the jungle a lot. He posts a lot, so I got to scroll back a ways to find his nice danio stuff. But in here you can see like he's got wild boosts, crypts, lots of really cool habitat. This guy is like a jungle. This guy must live in the jungle, live, sleep. I mean, here's, look at that snake right there. It's 2018 post. Look at these fish right here, barbs doing their thing. And he does do underwater stuff. Here's more boosts, beautiful. He does a lot of ferns, and he'll go in after forest fires, look for orchids. Look, I mean, he goes to the mountaintops. He's quite the dude. Very cool. Very cool to follow him on Facebook and stuff. But like, I mean, can you imagine going to this creek in real life and just having like this waterfall here with like loaches and little stiphodon gobies, and then the like chili rasboras swimming by, and the butterfly loach type species of well, not specifically butterfly loaches, but you get the idea. Loaches. Yeah, very cool stuff. And you know, some of the stuff he shows is like the length he goes to get out into the woods to get these things. Also, I want to show like some of this stuff, like from August 13th here that he showed. He shows like a turtle, and then he's showing, you know, what's around any given thing he finds and giving context to the organisms. But you know, he'll take stuff underwater and it's like, oh, it's a little Rasbora. And you suddenly realize how impressive it is when people are able to take a look at a Rasbora and tell you, boom, that's a whatever. You know, in this case, this is actually a puffer fish. That's the little puffer fish. The what's its name? I don't know if I can remember its name right now. It's a green puffer fish, though. It's like it looks. I'm trying to even think of it. Okay, here's a new. By the way, here is a new as of 5 years ago, true Rasbora. Right here. Look at this. The Rasbora marinae. Marinae, I guess. Marine. And look at the interesting, it's actually got really interesting fins right along the lateral line here. You can see that there's the black line, there's kind of this salmon or pink colored line or fuchsia colored line, and then there's also the clustered pigments. Again, you see that the dorsal fin and the anal fin, if you were to put them together, they kind of equal the caudal fin altogether. Mouth is upturned, big lateral line, pedomorphic, big old eye, and it's got the iridophore plate armor, and we can't see its organs, but probably the organs will have that too, and no pharyngeal teeth. They all kind of are insectivores and microcrustacean lovers. But this guy, he's always on top of you know, when I'm looking for what's the new species that was discovered this month, he has it before it's been published oftentimes. Look at these giant gouramis. This is a side tangent, but look at that beautiful, I mean, like you're not going to find that anywhere, but that's Borneo right there. Isn't that wild? Look at the size of that thing. Look at these. And look at these other fish. These are all food fish in that area, and you don't hear a lot about them in the hobby. He's always got, you know, I mean, he's been to, like, he's got Komodo dragon photos and all sorts of cool stuff. He is all over Southeast Asia, which is really neat. But I was gonna try to find, there was more and more video right on here of a very nice view of some, is it in here? A very nice view of some of like the places like this where he finds bettas. And, you know, I've seen a lot of the places they find bettas, they don't tend to find the Rasboras as much. And I don't know if that's just like a bias that happens because it's hard to film like in low visibility where bettas live and in shallow water, or if they actually stay apart, or, you know, I don't know the truth about that. But this guy, I mean, he's always getting all these new crab species, all these new plant species that are new to the trade. But I mean, look at this beautiful water, and look at all that bucephalandra and all the cryptocorn growing over in there. I mean, look at that boost. That is so freaking wild. That's bucephalandra spathilofolia growing there. It's a big leafed one. But yeah, this guy's like a botany is his focus. But I'm always in awe of what he films when he's out on these trips. And I've got another friend that I'll save for another day. Let's see. So this water's in this jungle, and it's so humid that it's like almost looks like fog. It's like 6 inches to a foot of water, maybe less. This is like classic territory for all of those fish that we were looking at, all the Rasboras and all of the little hill stream loaches and things like that. Very, very, very cool. And there's spots where little waterfalls and things just end, and there just won't be any more water for another 200 or 300 yards, and it's not until they get a really big rain that it connects up again. But I was trying, man, I don't know why it's making it load this way. I did have it all earmarked for you guys, like, but it won't let me load the links. But yeah, here's a really good example of right here, peninsular Malaysia in the black water. These are the fish that you would find. So there's the Asian swamp eel, there's a couple of Rasboras, there's a little croaking gourami, there's some snakeheads, there's a few catfish, there's some barbs, there's some bigger leaf fish, and some grunters, knife fish, kind of interesting. Yeah, stuff that you'd find in the shallower water, smaller fish. Some of those aren't that small either. But yeah, I mean, just beautiful underwater shots of plants and things too. So anyways, I'll definitely have some of his clips in videos soon. I mean, look at these loaches. Pangeo shelfordi. This is another loach that I've had. It's just a form of coolie loach. Same with, I mean, he found these, which blows my mind. He found the Homoloptera, the Ortho, I can never say this one right, Orthogoniata, Orthogoniata. And these are the horse face loaches, or the leather horse loach, or the leather lizard loach. You know, they go by different names. But They're beautiful. They get like a foot long. They're usually about $40 to $100 in the hobby. And I mean, there's all size different rivers, like I was saying here too. There's some that are really flowing like crazy all year long. There's others that are just a trickle. There's some like this where he's literally going on a powerboat and can't even get upstream. This is in search of in Brunei, so on the island of Borneo. And Brunei is a small country, very small country. It's a small island Muslim kingdom, basically, and just really cool the stuff he's sharing. So I'll get back to like, okay, is this the one that I was looking for? Oh, here are his freshwater puffers, the Sarawak pufferfish. So this is kind of fun. Let's see, will it let us watch this? Come on, let us watch it. Let's have some fun. Well, maybe we'll have to watch it like this, but look at these, the little pufferfish, little green, in the Rajan River of Sarawak, Borneo. And I can pull up a picture of the fish. But again, you see these little fleeting glimpses of the fish. That's like how these people are going out and catching things, is they get a little fleeting glimpse of the fish and then they jump in and go for it. But again, like I was saying, some spots are just incredibly beautiful, crystal clear water, others black water, others algae, like mucky water, like muddy. It runs the gamut. Others are like a freaking Jurassic Park paradise minus all the bugs and stuff. This is the one where they're catching these ginormous let's see, will it play?
Good size. Pinggir. Bawa pinggir aja, bawa pinggir.
Giant gurami. Very, very, very rare fish. Johor, Malaysia.
Bye-bye. Good.
Yeah.
Good size. Pinggir. Bawa pinggir aja, bawa pinggir.
Catch and release on those. Anyways, pretty wild. Aha, puffers. Yeah. Let's see here. Sup, Alex, the salient one. Hello, welcome. Also, thank you so much for the super chat. I Rasbora-ly appreciate it. Truly doodly do. Truly doodly doodly do. All right. I tried to tell him the puffer was named Ollie. Aha, puffers. Wait, I think they have another name, don't they, too? Hold on. I think they're also called... they're also called golden puffers. Yeah. Or the Aroglobius Sulius. They're kind of the least puffery pufferfish. Here, can I share it with? Let me. Will that work? All right, let's copy this. Pop that over there. Get this to there. We'll say share screen again. You're gonna share the screen. Share the love. Share the screen. Do. Yeah, here we go. And there you are. The golden puffer or green puffer, the aha puffer. There's a lot of names for these puffers. Green bottle puffer. Yeah, interesting. But these are totally freshwater ones that he was filming, and they're super cute. Love them, these little puffers. But again, they kind of are the least puffery. A golden avocado puffer is the name that I've seen in the hobby, come to think of it. Avocado puffers, yes. And you know who has had them? Who had a lot of them? They may even still have them. Actually, let's look at this one up. Moonlight Aquatics. Use the code FISHERY10. You get 10% off. But let's look up puffer. And they had Amazon puffers, pea puffers, red eye, red-tailed puffers, spotted Congo puffer, Shodantais, that is. They have Hyphosobricon Mateys. These are a killer deal. Wow, purple. These are always called purple tetras. They're not. They're like cornflower blue. Maybe these ones have red eyes though. I don't know. I'll have to go in person and check them out. Amazon puffers are sold out at the moment. Bummer. But yeah, he did have a bunch of really cool different puffers. Also, right now he's got these super on sale as well. He's got the red-tail hillstream loach, which is like just the normal one. It's got kind of a maze pattern and dots on its face. Then he's got the very rare newer one, which is the Bloody Mary, and he knocked the price down from $40 to $29.99. So, and they're beautiful. The red on them is, whew, it's. I mean, I'm sure he and Dan of DANSFISH must have gotten pretty much the same place. Also, nobody's bought these yet. I know there are a lot. The Hoplosoma Vulcan Cories, the CW111s, but $149. Oh, they're so expensive, but they're so incredible. Look at that round little face. Such a little stunted little downturned barbels. They're so stinking cute. I wish I had these. They have a crazy tall dorsal fin when they get older, too. Anyways, that's one that somebody's going to have to bite the bullet, buy, and breed for all of us, and then drop the price. Because I know I sure as heck ain't affording $150 avocado puffer. Yep. Craig, you doing a live soon? Let's see here. Yeah, Craig, you doing a live soon? Because I'm done. I'm getting out of here, guys. So whoever wants to carry the torch onward and upward, the flame will be yours in just a minute. I want to thank all y'all for joining me. I also want to, apparently the fry from Vulcan are very sensitive. I did not know that. Thank you. Siriana, thank you. But you guys, thank you so much. Members, lurkers, people who are just here, that's lurkers, and channel members, channel subscribers, y'all mean the world to me. Thank you for being a part of this community. And, as always, we try to have fun here when I'm able to physically do it. As I said, I am under the care of a new doctor, hopefully, and getting another second/third opinion. So hopefully things are changing soon. I'm getting real sick of being confined to a wheelchair for any expedition more than 20 feet. But again, I apologize at the rate or their the non-rate of which videos have been coming out lately. I am slowly getting back into the game. I'm slowly working on a bunch of different projects. It just always takes me time to get those gears turning and to get okay, I've got now all the B-roll for this project. And I can use half the B-roll from this project for this project that's a tangentially related thing. So I'll edit that part. And then I don't use that for another month or two. So I kind of am a bit of a chaotic worker for hopefully the better since I started editing more. If it's a video where I'm just talking frankly with you guys, then it's a matter of getting B-roll that I'm just not stealing, the B-roll that I can use, finding good imagery to keep those with wandering eyes entertained. Yeah, also, Jeff Kane, when are you doing your next stream? If anybody wants to go, I'll throw it out there. Tell me who's doing it. post your link or say your name, and we'll get one of the mods or myself to post the link. I'll hunt you down in a minute here. But again, if you want to find any of the stuff that we looked at today, Aquatic Arts, Moonlight Aquatics, DANSFISH, we didn't look at it, but the Wet Spot and Imperial Aquatics, also places that I suggest going. If any place that I have a discount to, the discount will be, the code will be in the description, and it's usually Fishery10 or Fishery15 or Alex to make it easy. But that's about it, guys. I hope you have a wonderful evening, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. And I shall return and stream on Friday. Should probably be an open chat, just like maybe an update around here, see what's going on in my tanks, but also just kind of if you have questions, concerns, comments that fell through the cracks over the last few weeks, hopefully we can get caught up on some of that. But much love to you all, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Take care of your critters. Take care of those around you. Take care of your plants, your bacteria, your ecosystems. And of course, take care of yourself, because if you don't do that, you can't do the other things. You can't have your YouTube channel and eat it too. So we're all working on those things, and I'll see you guys next time. Much love. And the cat and my wife also say they love you too. Lots of love coming your way. Also from all my fish. They're all capable of feeling love and sending it your way. It's a lot of love. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. How about